Welcome to another exciting episode of MSU Inside Out. I'm Kyle Patterson.
And I'm Amy Olson.
All right, thank you for joining us this afternoon. And today I have an interview with Derek Van Dyke. He's a mission counselor, and we're going to talk about the family weekend that's coming up in a couple weeks. And you have an interview today too, right?
Yes, I'll be interviewing Victor Henriksson, who is an international student from Sweden, about the Hostfest.
All right, and we also have Marcus Hendrickson, which is interviewing Cassandra Newharth here, alumni of the broadcasting department. And we have sports with Shane Court talking about the football and sports at MSU Sports. And we also have Derek Hackett with weather. But we have Piper Jones, I believe, right now with news. Piper, do you always want to be a Secret Service agent? Do you feel like one?
You know, in fourth grade, I was a secret agent.
Really?
For career day. Yeah, it didn't pan out that way so far, but we actually had a Secret Service agent visit Minot State University a couple of days ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have that story now if you want to pay attention.
Let's hear it.
Kyle. All right, let's take you to our story, and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Piper Jones, taking you to your campus news. Now, our campus did play host to former Secret Service agent and author Clint Hill. The Washburn native discussed his new book, Mrs. Kennedy and Me, an intimate memoir, in conversation with co-author Lisa McCubbin, and gave a multimedia presentation followed by a book signing. Hill was the Secret Service agent assigned to guard the glamorous and intensely private Jacqueline Kennedy from 1960 to 1964. In those 4 years, according to the book, he went from being a reluctant guardian to a fiercely loyal watchdog and, in many ways, her closest friend. Now, looking back 50 years, Hill told his story for the first time with unforgettable details, startling revelations, and recounting the tragedy that ended it all too soon, a tragedy that has haunted him for 5 decades. Hill presented rarely seen personal photographs and videos with Mrs. Kennedy and her children. Also shown was a United States Secret Service video of what it was actually like to be in the presidential motorcade on November 22, 1963 in Dallas, Texas. Hill's presentation was on the 25th in Alshire Theater. Now, the MSU Foreign Language Department's international film series kicked off this past Tuesday with The Motorcycle Diaries. The film is about an epic motorcycle journey across South America based on Che Guevara's own account from 1952. The film is part of Hispanic Heritage Month events. Next Tuesday, October 2nd, the MSU Foreign Language Department's international film series continues with A Man in Our House. The film is a classic of Arab and world cinema, starring young Omar Sharif and set in the Egypt of 50 years ago. Films are free and shown with English subtitles. An MSU Foreign Language faculty member will introduce the film, and a brief discussion period will follow. The door prizes are to local international restaurants as well. Now let's take a look at Medora. A Medora teen who has the bizarre ability to whistle through her eye socket may be getting a national audience. 16-year-old Ashley Ellison has a chance to be broadcast nationwide as the part of the Stupid Human Tricks on Tuesday night's Late Show with David Letterman. The Belfield High School junior will be one of 6 performers in the segment, but only 3 will make the cut to the national broadcast. The show paid for Ashley and one parent to travel to New York, but they bought a 3rd ticket so the whole family could go. Her parents sent a video to the show last spring touting Ashley's unique whistling ability, and we have that very video for you now.
My name is Ashley Ellison. I'm 15 and I live in Medora, North Dakota, and I can whistle through my eye.
All right, well, we wish you luck, Ashley. And Amy, I think I heard a rumor that you could whistle through your eye socket.
Sadly, that's not true. I don't think I'll make it on David Letterman. Well, it's Hostfest week here in Minot, and joining me today I have Victor Henriksson, who is an international student at MSU from Sweden. Victor, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for letting me come here.
Many of the guests that come to the Norskl Hostfest have ancestors that immigrated from Scandinavian countries. So how did you have to adjust when you came to MSU?
Oh, good question. I would say the biggest thing was probably the language, being foreign, having to start going to classes and do homework in a foreign language is kind of tricky. Culture-wise, I actually spent the year down in Missouri first, and I think culture-wise, North Dakota and Sweden aren't too different, and it's probably because of the heritage that you mentioned. So yeah.
And going to the Hostfest, it probably brings back some nostalgic feelings from home. What do you enjoy most about the Hostfest?
I loved everything about it last year. I went there with my girlfriend, some friends, and it was really a cool experience for me because I didn't think it was going to be as authentic as it was. It was tons of cool stuff. The food was great, really friendly people. It was like a really good Scandinavian atmosphere there. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
You mentioned food, so I have to ask, what are some of your favorite Swedish dishes?
I want to say meatballs, but I don't want to be boring. I have to come up with something. Probably blood pudding. It's basically blood from pig and flour mashed together and fried, and you eat it with lingonberries and cauliflower.
Wow, that sounds like a really interesting dish. I might have to try that at the Hostfest this weekend. And on Saturday, you'll be carrying the Swedish flag in a ceremony. How did you get to have that honor?
It was actually, I was asked by the Scandinavian Heritage Association. I've been dealing with them a little bit earlier this year. On their annual banquet, I was a guest speaker, and I guess they just think it's interesting that I'm from Sweden, so they invited me to come carry the flag and represent my country. So of course I said yes, it will be fun.
So for people like myself and some of our other viewers that are going to the Hostfest, what is a key Swedish greeting that we can say to people when we meet them?
A greeting?
Yes.
Good dog would probably be good. It's like good day.
Okay.
It's like a formal way of saying hi, but otherwise we say hey, like you guys do. Like hey, or yeah, good dog would probably be good.
All right, good dog. I'll have to remember that for later. And I actually got the opportunity to visit Sweden this summer, and it was very beautiful. What, for anyone else that's hoping to visit, what are the maybe top 3 things that people should see?
In Sweden?
Yes.
Oh, it depends what you want. It depends on what part of Sweden you go into. It's a really long and thin country. So if you go into the northern part, there is some cool winter activities you can do. We have an ice hotel, like a hotel made entirely out of ice. That is pretty sweet. And then if you go into the capital city, there is more of nightlife and old buildings and stuff like that to see for like history buffs and stuff like that. And in the south, it's more of like a European flavor, like it's closer to Denmark and Germany. So the southern parts of Sweden are more like international and more in touch with the rest of the Europe.
So lots of things to see in Sweden, and if you can't make it to Sweden, you can make it to the Norskl Hostfest this weekend. Victor, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Coming up later in the show, we have Kyle's interview with Derek Van Dyke, sports with Derek Hackett, and weather with Derek Hackett, rather, and sports with Shane Court.
She's not afraid, she just likes to use.
A little bit later. Thank you to our underwriters.
MSU Red and Green, Minot State University's weekly newspaper.
Nice Impressions for all your printing and marketing needs, where you will meet nice people and will be impressed with your printing.
MSU Theater, we strive to be vigilant.
Minot State University Athletic Department, go Beavers.
MidwestOilJobs.com. Find your dream job in the Bakken.
Me Mexico, located at 301 40th Avenue Southwest. Authentic Mexican cuisine.
I Keating Furniture World, where exciting things are always happening.
Fiancé Bridal, located downtown Minot, and now you can shop online.
Digital Office Center, Minot's Xerox headquarters.
KIZZ-FM, Z94, Minot's only station for today's hit music.
97 Kicks FM, today's hot new country.
KZPR-FM, Minot's rock station, 105.3 The Fox.
KMXA FM, Minot's best music mix, Mix 99.9.
KCJB AM, 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Walmart on South Broadway for tremendous opportunities and growth.
Sodexo for food service and catering, located in Minot State University.
Minot State University Art Department, featuring galleries across the Minot State campus.
Welcome back to MSU Inside Out. I'm Kyle Patterson. You're not Amy.
I'm not Amy.
But you're alumni of Broadcasting Department.
I am.
All right, we'll get to you here very soon. But once again, welcome back. You know, lots of changes going on here. And Derek Van Dyke here, he is a mission counselor here at Minot State. Thank you for joining me here today. You were my RHD my freshman year in the dorm, so I know you really well. Plus, when did you graduate, by the way?
2010. Yep.
Long time ago then, huh?
Yep.
All right, we're going to talk about Family Weekend here coming up in a couple weeks, I believe, October 12th and 13th. So there are a lot of events planned for both days. Can you run down some of the events that are taking place for the Family Weekend?
Yeah, first we'll start on Friday. Families have an opportunity to come with their students and attend a class. Even if they're in high school, they can come and attend a class. So that's really a great way to get in and see what a real college class feels like. So you can really feel that you belong at a university. Also, Friday night we have women's volleyball as Minot State hosts defending NCAA champs Concordia St. Paul. So that'll be really exciting.
Yeah.
Sunday we have a couple of presentations from Anthony Anderson and Dr. Gerard. They'll be talking about studying abroad and studying overseas. Again, we have the football game. We have the symphony. So we have a lot of different things, whether you like music, the arts, want to hear a couple of speakers. Also, we have a very special treat. We have what's called the Wild Beaver coming in.
So what's that exactly then?
It's a brainchild of one of our employees, Eric Bonnes. He was at a conference, and it's going to be a wild bull. Well, not a wild bull, a mechanical bull that we're going to put a beaver's costume on.
Okay.
And students can get an opportunity to ride that Friday. It'll be in the quad, and then it'll be at the volleyball game too, and then again at tailgating before the football game.
Okay, and then we're going to get back to where the parents can come to class. How did that idea come up? Don't you think it's like, do kids want their parents in class? Like when they wake up, some of the times they don't go to class,
Yeah, that's very true. And we want to encourage that. We want parents to see what Minot State has to offer. And we give them a tour anyways, and when we take them around, but this is it's adding an extra level to their visit on campus. We want them to feel that we know we have high quality faculty, and we want to show them off. And so this just seems like a great way to show our faculty off.
Okay, and is this the first year for Family Weekend, by the way?
Yes, it is the first weekend, but hopefully this will be, as we move to Division II, we wanted to make a big signature experience for families. And so this will hopefully continue to grow in the future.
So how'd this plan come out exactly? I suppose with Division II, this plan came out to promote this Division II that we moved to. So how did it come out, though, to make this Family Day?
To make this Family Day, we wanted to invite not only students and alumni, they have their own kind of games with homecoming and things. We wanted a weekend for families. And so we want to have, like, say, you're going to school. Do you have any younger brothers and sisters?
I have an older brother. He just graduated.
Okay, well, that was kind of a bad example. But we want, if you have a younger brother or sister, they can stop by our office during the day on Friday or any time during the week and get a pass that gets you into all sorts of different events here on campus. Or we'll have a booth at tailgating that you can stop and get in, so the kids can get into these events and things like that. So
with the parents coming, how important is it for parents to be involved with their child at this level?
It's really important to help them, but this is also that time where you kind of start to sever those ties too. So knowing that they're sending their son or daughter off into a safe environment where they can get a great education and meet a lot of great friends is really important. And so making sure that parents see that is a great great deal, means a great deal to us.
All right. And now I think we have to talk a little bit about you now, since you're alumni of the broadcast department. So you're a admission counselor. Did you get that job right out of college here?
Yep, right after college. I graduated on a Friday, and then I was hired and started on that Sunday. I actually went to a conference in Minneapolis. So.
All right, nice. So do you have anything else to add about Family Weekend or anything?
Family Weekend starts Friday, October 12th.
Okay.
Goes to the October 13th. And again, if they want any information, they can contact my supervisor, Kevin Harmon. And if you want to be a part of that, stop by and pick up some credentials in our office.
All right, thank you, Derek.
Yep.
All right, now we're going to toss it to Marcus, which has an interview with another alumni of the broadcast department. It's Cassie Newhart. You know her too.
Of course.
What do you have for us, Marcus?
Thanks, guys. I am here with Miss Cassie Newhart, former MSU broadcasting student, MSU alumnus. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. It's nice to see you in this place.
Cassie Newhart is quite the interview to get, so we're lucky to have her here with us today. So Cassie, having graduated back in May, how has your life changed since that time?
Well, back in June, at the beginning of June, I actually got a job here in Minot. I'm working at Results Unlimited here in town, a marketing and advertising firm. So my life has changed a little bit, but it's been a little more busy, a little bit crazy. We actually moved back into our house, my parents and I, after being flooded and the construction and everything. We moved back at the end of July, so it's been a crazy summer. I don't even remember the summer because it was so busy, but yeah, it was good.
Now, going from student to career woman, can you describe that transition and how easy or hard it was?
Well, at first, it was a bit of a transition, just trying to learn the new job and learn the position and take over from the girl who had left before me. I don't think it really hit me until school started and everyone started coming back to campus, and I kept seeing things on Facebook like, oh, we're going back to school. It just didn't seem like, it just felt like I was doing a summer internship and then I'll come back to school, but then not coming back to school at the same time. So it was a bit of a change, but I'm happy about it and excited about the future, I guess. So.
And you talk about school, and the MSU meant a lot to you in your time here. There's kind of some changes going on here at MSU this semester. Even more could come. They're talking about a 3-tier system. Can you talk about your thoughts on that?
Well, the 3-tier system, I did hear a little bit about it this summer, a little bit about what was happening, but I don't want to get into it, I guess. I don't want to say too much, but I wish it would have gone differently, and, you know, because our students meet a lot at this school, and their voice should be heard.
And working for the school, you did a lot, and you're a part of a lot of the aspects of MSU. Can you talk about the recent announcement of the retirement of Dr. Fuller?
I was quite sad to hear about that. I thought President Fuller did a wonderful job while he was here. He was a president that was very into his students and wanted to know what they were doing with their major and what they were doing in school, and he really gave a lot to the students, and so it'll be sad to see him go, but he did a wonderful job, and he'll do a wonderful job throughout the next year until his retirement.
And Cassie, you were known around the broadcasting department as having quite the opinion on certain things, so I'm just going to throw some topics out at you and, you know, just kind of off the cuff remark on how you feel. The election?
I don't want to talk about politics.
No?
No politics, please.
How about the NFL ref situation? Were you pretty upset about all that?
I actually know nothing about football.
Okay, I guess Cassie Newhart is not opinionated anymore with this new job career that she has been a part of. So, you know, the future. What's next?
Well, I just kind of have to take one day at a time. I like my job and where I'm at right now, and I like being with my parents and at home, and I have to mooch off them for a little bit longer, and so I can make some more money, and then I'll get out there, and you never know what's going to happen. Never know.
Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say that we miss having you around this place, and I'm going to get a little emotional here. But we wish you the best with everything that happens to you, and we're so proud of you. So proud of you. But yeah, Cassie Newhart, former broadcasting student, career woman. She's taken the world by storm. Thank you, Cassie, for being with us. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Marcus. Geez, we have alumni all over the place for this show today.
We do. Very important people on the set today.
Yes, but let's move to something different. We're going to go with sports with Shane. And Shane, did you watch that Monday night game?
I did, and it was very, what's the one word, controversial? It was very much.
I think it was.
I think like one or two calls went like bad way, I heard. Like Twitter exploded.
I saw that. Facebook did too.
Yeah, so I'll get into that later. The MSU football team brought their 0-3 record into Upper Iowa University on Saturday as they tried to fend off the 1-2 Peacocks. The game was seen in front of a sold-out crowd of 1,100 people in Fayette, Iowa. It didn't take long for the Beavers to strike as freshman Glenn Burrell juked and jived past defenders on his way to a 98-yard kickoff return to start the game. It was only the second time all season the Beavers had a lead on an opposing team. Too bad that lead didn't last too long, as Peacocks quarterback Cole Jaszecki hooked up with wideout Kean Hosh on a 48-yard touchdown pass, which tied the game just 4 minutes into the first quarter. The Peacocks then took the lead late in the first quarter with a 10-play, 84-yard drive that ended up in a field goal. Upper Iowa took advantage of costly turnovers as the Beavers had 2 lost fumbles and gave up 4 interceptions on the day. Any comeback planned by the Beavers was shut down by the Peacocks defense as they forced 6 turnovers on the Beavers' last 10 possessions. The final score of the game ended up 26-20 in favor of the Peacocks. The Beavers' Zach Cunha still threw for 320 yards and 2 TDs even with the 4 interceptions. The Beavers return to action this Saturday at Herb Parker Stadium starting at 6:07. Well, the losing streak for the MSU volleyball team is finally over. The ladies snapped their 8-game losing streak with a 3-0 sweep over Valley City. The game was played Tuesday night in a non-conference matchup. The win pushes their record to 4-11 heading into their 2 away games this weekend. The ladies were led by freshman middle hitter Tara Dabovich, who had 9 kills, an ace, a solo block, and a block assist. Also, freshman Mallory Saul had a big game for the ladies as she put up 12 kills and 14 digs. The ladies returned to action in the Northern Sun when they traveled to Wayne State College for a match on Friday night and to Augustana College for a Saturday afternoon affair. Well, big news came out of the NFL today as finally the NFL and the NFL Referee Association came to a deal that will put the regular officials back on the field. They plan to have all officials retrieve their equipment on Friday in Dallas, then head out for their Week 4 assignments on Sunday and Monday. The NFL has come under huge scrutiny from fans and coaches during these first 3 weeks of games from blown calls by the replacement officials. The tipping point might have been the very controversial calls at the end of the Packers and Seahawks game on Monday night. You can check out the return of the officials tonight as the Ravens play the Browns on the NFL Network starting at 7:20. With just under a week to go in the MLB playoff season, the playoff races have never been closer. The addition of the extra wildcard spot in each the NL and AL divisions means so much to each team still in the hunt. So far in the American League, no team has clinched their division, leaving 4 teams in the hunt for 2 wildcard spots. The Oakland A's share the lead with Baltimore, while the Rays and Angels are within 3 games of those 2 spots. In the National League, the Nationals have clinched the East, the Reds have clinched the Central, and the West belongs to the Giants. As for the wildcard picture, the Atlanta Braves have sealed their wildcard spot with their win on Tuesday, and St. Louis holds the other spot with the Brewers and Dodgers both chasing the Cardinals, and that both of them are 3.5 games back. All regular season games wrap up on next Wednesday. So Kyle, I know we were talking about that NFL, the new refs. I mean, I don't know if they cost a lot of teams games. I guess who knows, right?
I don't know. I like you said, Twitter was exploding. Yeah. Mostly Packers fan, probably.
Yeah, weird. They're all over Twitter, just controlling that place.
Thank you, Shane.
Thanks, guys.
Speaking of football, Amy, I think we have some weather coming up here, and I heard the weather's supposed to be nice, but I think we have to ask somebody that really knows the weather, don't you think?
I think so.
I think so.
I know a little bit about weather. Actually, it is going to be nice. It's nice out kind of right now, but this weekend looks glorious for the end of September, actually. It's going to be roughly in the 80s for kickoff. But let's take a look at our current temperatures right now over here in the Weather Center. It is currently about 73 degrees out in the Magic City. Couple clouds covering the area, but that's going to keep the heat in for a little bit longer, at least until the sun sets, which is set for 7:32 tonight. As we see, it's calm evening right here. 5-mile-an-hour winds, very little gust. It's going to be a lovely evening, but the temperature will shift a little bit towards sundown to roughly 50s, low 50s. But let's take a look at Friday, which will kick off our weekend here. 80 degrees here in the Magic City on Friday, which is good news for the end of September, really. And as we look east, still above high temperatures for the end of September. 79 in Fargo, 78 in Grand Forks, 80 in Bismarck with a low of 50, but that won't come until later on in the evening as the sun sets again. But Williston has the nicest weather in the state with 81 degrees set for Friday during the day, as Dickinson is at 79. But let's take a look at Friday night now. Clear night, very little wind, but cooler temperatures as it usually is during autumn weather. 51 in Minot towards the evening, but couple clouds covering the area, but all in all, you should be able to see your favorite constellations that evening. As we look to the east side, 46 in Grand Forks, 47 in Fargo. Shifting to the west side of the state now, 50 in Dickinson, also 50 in Williston. But let's look at Saturday now for the big game coming up against University of Mary. The Marauders will leave nice weather in Bismarck, 81 degrees and about 51 for the low, but that'll be a little bit later, as Minot will be at 82. Kickoff, it's about 79 degrees for kickoff, but bring a sweatshirt just in case it gets cooler when the sun goes down. A little bit after halftime, it'll be into the mid-60s. So as we look to the west side, 83 in Wilson. They once again have nice weather. Let's look at Saturday night now. Again, a clear night, a few clouds, not a whole lot. 54 in Minot, 52 in Bismarck. Again, that's going to come towards the sunset, and it'll be really nice. But let's look at Sunday's temperatures really quick here. 70. We start to cool down a little bit. 76 in the Magic City, 77 in Fargo, and let's look at Sunday night. Sunday night, 49 in Minot, 47 in Bismarck, another clear night as we look towards the rest of the week. Starting on Monday, we're going to be at 72 degrees on Monday, 71 on Tuesday, and then we get a lot chillier on Wednesday at about 56 degrees, but 30% chance of rain on Wednesday. So we'll start to see these nice temperatures fade out towards the middle of next week.
Why do you do that to us?
Well, you know what? I'm just not feeling up very well today. I'm not feeling very well today, so I'm a little crabby. But at least I gave you some warning.
All right, thank you, Derek. Thank you very much.
Well, like Derek said, it'll be perfect temperatures for the game this Saturday. And before the game, you can check out the women's soccer team. We'll be playing at 1 p.m. After that game, you can head to tailgating at 4 p.m. And like we said earlier, the football game against University of Mary.
It's a renewal between two teams.
Yes, at 6 p.m. And today we're going to leave you with the song Sexy Back by Poison. And you can look forward to the show next week where we're live at Norskl.
Thank you.